Okay, so for our next lesson, we kind of talked about scientific notation a little bit in the last lesson. So the first half of the unit, we looked at exponential notation. Now we're going to look a lot more closely at scientific notation. So positive finite decimal s is said to be written in scientific notation if it is expressed as a product d times 10 to the nth, where d is a finite decimal, so that 1 is less than or equal to d, which is less than or equal to, or which is less than, that should be a 10. I'm really sorry. I forgot a very crucial point of this part of this PowerPoint. So let me fix that real quick here. Okay, so d is less than or equal, greater than or equal to 1, excuse me. So more than 1 or equal to it, but less than 10, so it cannot be 10. And then n is an integer. So here we have the order of magnitude of the decimal, which the integer n is called. So d times 10 to the nth. So the finite decimal 234.567 is equal to every one of the following. So here we have it written in scientific notation, 2.34567 times 10 to the second, because we can move that decimal 2. Here we have it times 1. Here we have it times 3, so just an extra move from the first one. Here we have it to a negative 3, so we'd move it to the left. Here we have it times 10, so we'd move that decimal once. And then here, like this one, we just move it 6 spaces to the left. So this first one is the only one in scientific notation because its number is less than 10, but greater than or equal to 1. Are the following numbers written in scientific notation? If not, why? We're going to go through the first one together. It is written in scientific notation because it's less than or equal, greater than or equal to 1, less than 10, written to a power of 10, written with number 10 to a power. Go ahead and work on the other ones on your own, and then hit play when you're ready to see the answers. So the next one is not, because it is less than 1. Here it is, and I'll give you the rest of them too. This one is not because it's not times 10 to a power. This one is more than 10 and not to a power, or not 10 to a power. And this last one is, we have less than 10 and then 10 to a power. So yesterday we looked at dividing with numbers that are to the exponents. We're going to look at subtracting them. So we need to determine the difference in the populations of Texas and North Dakota. In 2012, Texas had a population of 26 million people. North Dakota had a population of 6.9 times 10 to the fourth. So first, let's make sure both our numbers are written in scientific notation. So we have 2.6 times 10 to the seventh, and then we subtract them to find the difference. We take 2.6 times 10 to the seventh minus 6.9 times 10 to the fourth. 2.6 times 10 to the third, and then times 10 to the fourth breaks it down so that we have similar ones here. So we're actually going to get 2,600 times 10 to the fourth minus 6.9 times 10 to the fourth so that we can subtract easier. So we get 2,600 minus 6.9, then times 10 to the fourth. 2,593.1 times 10 to the fourth, or 25,931,000 would be the difference in Texas and North Dakota, which we can write then as scientific notation, 2.5931 times 10 to the seventh. You always need to keep any number that is not followed by zeros. So here we have the extra zeros, which we don't need to write here, but if there would be a 0 after the 5, we would need to keep that 0. So work here on your own, write the following numbers in scientific notation, then hit play when ready for the answer. Okay? So we have a really big number. 4.07 times 10 to the 11th. Again, we have to keep that 0 because there is a number that is not 0 after it. 6.9 times 10 to the 5th. 5.76 times 10 to the 5th. 2.76 times 10 to the 11th. 2 times 10 to the 9th. So it's always going to be wherever that decimal point is, and you count every digit after that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this one. So your assignment is going to be on IXL, skill 8-G.1, converting between standard and scientific notation. No more than 30 minutes. If you get to 30 and you're concerned or confused or just have questions in general, please let me know. But otherwise, go ahead and work on that.